Jesus. Does that make sense?
It does.
So yes, the answer to the question is yes, in its core level, at a soul level, if a person believes that Jesus is God, it is going to severely impact upon their ability to grow towards God and become at one with God. It also severely impacts upon their impressions of me as Jesus. Like, I am just their brother. I'm not their God or creator. God is my creator. God is your creator, which makes us brother and sister. While you see me as God, you do not recognise that I'm just your brother. That's going to inhibit your future growth in some way, sooner or later, right? It also means that you're going to expect things of me that I can't deliver, because only God could deliver such things. Does that make sense?
It does, yeah.
And very many people expect me to deliver things to them that only God or God's love can deliver to them. But there are also many people, as you know, in religious faiths who say they're Christian, and when they talk about the Trinity, but they don't personally believe it.
No, that's right. That's
And they have received divine love as a result, because their personal belief inside of their heart is that I'm not God, and that I'm a person who lived on earth, and they're still not sure. Many Christians are very, very much not sure about my relationship to God. They know that somehow I came to explain God to people, but they're not sure how that actually occurred. But they don't believe I was God either. They just, many of them do believe I was a man, even though their religious faith teaches different to that. Those people, of course, have very little effect when they realise that when someone comes and tells them, and often it's me who goes and tells them, and once they've passed, that I'm not God. And they go, oh, okay, I don't know if I really ever believed that either, you know. And so it's relatively easy for such people to continue their growth towards God.
Yeah.
However, I have met many others and that have had such a strong belief that I am God, that when they've asked for Jesus to come to them, I've come to them, and they've told me that I'm not God, which I know that I'm not, of course, and then they've denied divine truth for many years, sometimes hundreds, sometimes thousands of years as a result of that one teaching. So the belief that Jesus is God has a huge capacity to harm your relationship with God. In a way, it's also a blasphemy towards God.
Yeah.
You're really saying that God is one of God's creations, and that's never the case. God is the creator of all, not one of the creations. Yeah. And all I am is one of the creations of God. So we're really, in a way, blaspheming the true nature of God. Or if we use another word, we're misrepresenting the true nature of God. Now, we cannot become at one with God while we misrepresent the true nature of God to ourselves. In other words, in order to become at one with God, we must accept God's definition of God. And God's definition of God is not the Trinity, and God's definition of God is not that Jesus is God. God's definition of God is that there is one creator, and when you connect with God's love to a complete extent and stay open and humble without trying to hold on to a book, you eventually realise that. And once you realise that, you have a stronger connection with God, because now you're believing the truth about the person you're connecting to. It's a bit like me and you. If I connected with you and you said to me, hi, AJ, my name's Claire, and I go, oh, hello, Rosemary, and you go, no, my name's Claire, and I say, hello, Rosemary.
You live in Canada, don't you? No, I live over there.
And I go, yeah, you live in Canada? And you go, no, I live in Wickstow. And I go, no, you live in Canada. I'm sure you do. And I don't listen to a single definition that you give me about yourself.
Yes.
How much of a good relationship are we ever going to have? You'll look at me and go, this man's crazy, right? He believes a heap of things about me that are not true. And this is exactly what happens with most people's relationship with God. They believe a whole heap of things about God that are not true, and then expect to be close to God. Now, you can't achieve closeness to somebody while you believe a whole heap of false things about them. Just like I can't expect to achieve closeness with you while I believe a whole heap of false things about you. So my suggestion to people is we need to come to terms with what God really is, rather than believing a whole heap of false things about God. Jesus is not God. If I hold on to the belief that Jesus is God, at some point in my future, God's going to say, yeah, you believe a whole heap of things about me that are not true, you know, including you believe that Jesus is me and Jesus isn't me. See, so there's Jesus over there. And I go, yeah, here I am, I'm over here.